And I'm going to go ahead and make sure we name our layer too. I'm going to call this chipping. All right. Let's go ahead and create a new layer. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off our chipping because I want to look at doing some gouges, but I don't want to see where I've added chipping to it. I want kind of a fresh take on it. Let's go for our dam standard. All right. In this case, we're going to look to, oops, that's really cranked up. Let's turn it down. I'm also going to turn this down a bit. Okay, something like that. Let's see what that looks like. Oops. I'm sorry. I accidentally got out of that. Make sure you've got the record on. Make sure it's on. All right, so I'm going to gouge a little bit more right in there with our... Oops. You know, it's really looking pixelated. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and do a Control-Z. I'm going to turn that off. Let's go to our geometry palette. Let's turn this up to, say, 300. And let's do it Dynamesh. Oh, that's right. Dynamesh, it won't allow me to be able to remesh it and get more polygons because, of course, we have layers. I forgot about that. That's one of those things that I should have ramped this up a little bit. What I could do, I mean, technically, I guess I could do this. I could look at just baking everything right now. I could look at baking everything, which is this button right here, which means whatever details are showing, we're actually going to bake it into the model. We have to bake it into the model eventually anyway. So let's go ahead and just do a bake all. All right, this is now our mesh. There's no doubt about it. Let's go to our geometry tab. Again, 300. It actually will give you a slight variation. If you do 300, it'll actually ramp it up to 304. Let's go ahead and do a remesh now. And we got 298,000 polygons. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we'll go back to the layers. I'm going to go ahead and turn on a new layer. And like we were doing, I'm going to go ahead. We've got the dam standard on. I'm going to go ahead and ship out this piece here. Just so there's a little bit of something. Let me go ahead and, I'm using the bracket key to pull this down a little bit. Okay, so it's a nice gouge right there. I want to make sure that we're going to gouge this out. What I'm doing is I'm actually pulling back, gouging hard, and then I pull back a little bit, and then I pull the brackets down so they're, you know, we're getting, it's not super unrealistic with the gouging and the cracks, etc. You do want to make sure that, you know, if you do something like that, you know, that just doesn't look good. You want to make sure that if you're you know, doing some gouging, you stipple the gouging in a little bit. And stippling means, I mean, I just barely tap it in there, and then I just add in a little bit like that. All right. You could, if you wanted, you could click on to your Alpha 8. You could actually add in a little stuff that way. If I bring up my brush and then something like that, it's a little harsh. I'm going to go ahead and pull this in, pull this down a little bit. Yeah. So, you know, something like that. There you go. Of course, do keep in mind I'm still going to be adding noise on top of this as well. So let's go back to our dam standard. Oh, that was the dam standard. I'm sorry. That's why it did it out so well. Alpha. Oops. Control Z. Again, you want to stipple it in. I'm going to actually angle this towards here. Just stippling in, angling it around. There we go. And again, you can do this all over the model. I mean, and you'll want to. So, you know, make sure you have some fun with where you're adding it, but try and be as irregular as you can be with it. If you do anything that looks like you're creating a pattern, it's going to be noticeable. So you do want to be careful about that. Let me switch to my standard brush. That's what I wanted originally. Go ahead and pull in. And let's pull this up a little bit. There we go. We can do a little more pulling. I'm doing the drag rectangle, so I'm just pulling stuff out. There we go. Because some of these areas might be a little more corroded, a little more old than others. I can pull this down a little bit. I'm going to do a big section here. I'm dragging in the same area, so we really are going to affect that. And I want to do a bigger shot here too. I want this side to be really kind of corroded. We saw one of those in the in our block references. There's some serious corrosion going on, so I want to get some of that in, because it'll affect the face, the full face of it, and will help when we add the noise in. So might do somewhere we're going to Z add it. Might be nice to get a few things like that. Again, I'm trying to make sure that I have enough variation with all of this that none of it looks like it's the same thing. I want to make sure that it looks like it could be brick, but I also want to make sure that I have every side is different, and that way I can end up having serious reusability with this stone face, etc. I'll just do some gouges. We'll also do some couple different variations on the layers as well. Etch that in. Want to go ahead on this one. I want to build out a little bit here. Go to Z add. I'm going to pull that down a bit. Let's go ahead and go for ours. I went for the standard brush. I want to go ahead for the Z add on this as well. I'm just pulling this way up. There we go. All right. So we've got some nice variation with all of this. I'm now just kind of being kind of quick with some. We just want to get enough indents, enough variation, so it doesn't look like it's just it's a block. Wow, somebody just put something together type of thing. We do want to make sure that we've got something that might read as a little more realistic. Let's see on this one side. Yep, that works. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the recording side of it. All right, that's good. We might tone this down a little bit because we still have noise to add as well. So I'm going to pull that back a bit. Let's do a quick BPR. Yep, I like it. All right, let's go ahead and add in, let's name this. And so this will be chipping 2. Let's go ahead and add in another layer. And we're going to go to our surface, add noise, and we're going to grab that scale and really drive it up. And the strength, might have to pull that down a bit, but that's okay. Just for now, let's do a quick OK. And let's go ahead and do an apply to mesh. And now I can go back to my layers and I can dial it down. Oops, dial it off. You might want to kind of make sure you don't do that. All right. By the way, you can actually move the layers up and down, and that will affect how you how certain things are going to come across, etc. Let's go ahead and do a move up. All right, and then with the chipping, I can actually bring that out a little bit more now. There you go. Because the layers, it's just like Photoshop. You can adjust the layers, and you can have slightly different effects based on what the layers are, etc. So, oh, that looks good. I like that. Let's do a quick BPR. Yeah, works for stone for me. All right, let's go ahead and make sure we save this up as stone block 4, and we'll continue.